Hey guys, Miss Lerner here. I'm here to go over some confusing points in FRQ 13. Just moving forward so that we're aware the AP test is going to be entirely FRQ, so it's important that we really try our best at these things. And it's also being viewed as kind of like an open note college level test. So it's going to be more about understanding overarching conceptual concepts rather than something that you can just look up on the internet. So I tried to privilege that kind of thing in this FRQ because it didn't just help. It helped you a little bit knowing what each thing was, but you had to really apply your understanding of the evolutionary perspective in order to get the points for this FRQ. So, moving forward, we're going to be looking at things like this. If I told you to revise your FRQ, please, look at the points that I'm talking about in this video and make modifications as you see fit. And just upload the revised copy to that assignment. All right, so this FRQ is really just talking about a number of concepts, 7 points, and how those concepts were going to enable our ancestors and now us today to survive. It wasn't asking us how these things have evolved over time. It was just asking how could they be beneficial for us to survive and pass on our genetic code. Okay, so taste aversion, attachment, inattentional blindness, REM sleep paralysis, cognitive map, sympathetic nervous system, and set point. All right, so I'm going to say universally, inattentional blindness was a difficult one for people. REM sleep paralysis proved to be more difficult than I had originally anticipated, and set point as well. So let's go through each one of these very briefly. I'm not going to write a response. I'm just going to talk through some of the stuff that you could have mentioned or gone over. All right, so taste aversion. Taste aversion is a classical conditioning relationship that happens when you taste a food and you get sick from that food, and it only requires one pairing of the sickness with that food. So taste aversion in our ancestors' lives enabled us to avoid foods that were dangerous and perhaps deadly and poisonous to us. Okay, it's as simple as that. And taste aversion shows that the classical conditioning relationship, the biological piece, is extremely, extremely important. Okay, that when we look at the biology behind classical conditioning, it almost trumps more the number of associations that a neutral stimulus has with an unconditioned stimulus. All right, attachment. Attachment is going to be the bond that a caregiver shares with their child. Okay. And we get attached because we need to survive. Attachment, it's great as a relationship, and a lot of people wrote about self-actualization, being your best self. I'm talking about being a baby, needing to eat, needing protection from predators, so you get attached to that caregiver. Okay, if I don't have that attachment, I'm in danger. I'm in danger of being attacked. I'm in danger of starving. I'm in danger of so many different things. Inattentional blindness. Inattentional blindness was the phenomenon that I showed you with the video of the basketball players and the bear walking through. But did you see the moonwalking bear? Inattentional blindness is the byproduct of selective attention. Okay. While inattentional blindness is not necessarily a good thing, okay, and a lot of people wrote about that, it is the healthy byproduct of an attention system that is going to privilege, attending to the most salient features in a scene or the most dangerous and pressing issues at a moment in time. So that being said, missing small elements in your environment is not really that big of a deal if you're really focusing on the idea that you're going to be safe, that no one is going to attack you, that there are not people watching you, or that you are not being preyed on. So inattentional blindness, while it is not necessarily a positive thing, it is going to be a way that we sort through our perceptual world, because we are attacked by, hundreds of thousands of bits of information every second. So if we paid attention to all of that, we would be in grave danger. All right, REM sleep paralysis. A reminder, I know we haven't gone back over Unit 5 consciousness yet, but inattentional blindness, REM sleep paralysis is going to be when your muscles are experiencing what we call atonia, when they're paralyzed as you are having your most vivid dreams. REM sleep was going to be called paradoxical sleep because your brain thinks that you are awake, but your body, all your major voluntary muscles are paralyzed. This is evolutionarily productive for really two reasons. Number one, while I don't want to act out my dreams and hurt myself, endanger myself. Number two, if I'm, sleeping at night and I'm flailing about the whole time, I'm going to be an easy target for nocturnal predators. Okay, so both of these things. If you said something about like REM sleep being good for consolidating memory, that's true too, but I was looking for the paralysis piece here. A cognitive map is going to be a mental representation of your world. Okay, it's kind of like a GPS, internal GPS of your surroundings. Edward Tolman came up with the cognitive map, and the cognitive map was going to be what led to his foundation of latent learning, this hidden learning that rats would remember a maze even in the absence of direct reinforcement, and then when they were reinforced later on, they would run through the maze even quicker. From an evolutionary perspective, cognitive maps made us much better at not getting lost. They allowed us to forage for food. They could put kind of red flags in areas that were dangerous to us. We could navigate our world in darkness or, in situations that were difficult to see. So cognitive maps protected us in order to know where we were and where we were going. Okay. The sympathetic nervous system is going to be one part of the autonomic nervous system, that automatic nervous system that responds to stress. The sympathetic nervous system revs most things up, like heart rate and breathing. I had said that it really revs most things up with the exception of salivation and digestion. Okay, that you're not going to want to be running from a lion and and want to stop for a Big Mac. So all of the features of the sympathetic nervous system, between heart rate and having access to glucose for your muscles, to not being hungry, all of these things are going to enable you to fight a predator or flee from that predator. Okay, a lot of people wrote about homeostasis. If we're really talking about the body as a homeostatic thing, we're going to be looking more at the parasympathetic nervous system, because that is what brings it back once that acute stress, the stress that has a very clear duration, is over. Then set point. Lastly, set point is going to be the kind of the ideal or the typical, we kind of call it a settling point amount of body fat that the body maintains. And it coincides with your basal metabolic rate. So if I get too thin and I'm malnourished and I'm starving, my body does this great thing where it slows down your basal metabolic rate so you can survive on less food. Okay, this is going to make it so that you are that you can survive in times of feast or famine. You may, if you are too overweight, then your metabolism is going to actually speed up. So either way, as long as you apply these things to survival, that's what I was really looking for. If you have mistakes, correct them, resubmit it. If you are copying definitions off the internet for this, I'm going to warn you now, that is not a good technique. The College Board has really, really great anti-plagiarism software. They will void your scores and they will report the fact that you cheated to colleges. So if you're looking things up, you should be putting it in your own words. All right. That's just my PSA for today. Anyway, I hope everyone's having a great day, and I'll see you this week. Bye-bye. Where is the cursor?